Hi everyone, my name is Tim Langford, and I spent the last year learning how to be the best teacher that I can be. I've learned that there's a lot that goes into being a successful teacher, and while the full list could fill up an entire CVS receipt, gather round as I tell you the story of 5 realizations I had about students and about myself during the internship year. Alright, so number 1, or as my students say, firstly. Sometimes an extra hour of sleep is better than an extra hour of planning. While careful planning is certainly important, having that presence of mind enough sleep will give you can often be the more useful investment. I've learned that confidence is a huge component to teaching, and I simply can't be confident in front of the class while also feeling super tired and lethargic. And sadly, this is the one thing that coffee can't solve yet. College teaches you to be woke. The internship teaches you to be woke too. Number 2, if you ask students to write about their own lives, unfortunately you're guaranteed to be speaking to a counselor when it comes time to grade. Now, I've yet to talk about myself all that much, but the short of it is that I have had an extremely fortunate life. My childhood was magical, and I walk into work every day with that mindset. I try to do as much as I can to give students that same experience that I was given, but frankly, some students were just dealt a bad hand. And this is English class, the natural avenue to express and release these feelings. It's important to give students opportunities to creatively write about their lives so that you can step in, and it's necessary to have a support structure for your students who struggle with mental health and difficult situations. It's probably the most important work I could possibly be doing as a teacher. The next realization is one that I was tardy to, and it's that those first couple of days are unspeakably precious. There were countless norms and routines that I realized I wanted to instill in my classroom. Only problem is, I realized them in April. From simple practical routines that can ease transition times to more clever and robust concepts that help define the identity of the class, there are a frustrating number of components to the classroom that need that day one installation. I've noticed and been shown that once students set into the routines and expectations of the class, you're going to have a tough time redirecting. I know that it's not impossible, but it is incredibly important to make the most out of those first few weeks. Number 4, the differences between 9th graders and 12th graders is simultaneously staggering and nil. You need to be able to turn on a dime to appropriately coordinate both groups of students. And you've got to be mindful of the dizzying effect that can occur when crafting assessments for both. Otherwise, you're assessing students at all the wrong levels, and you're talking to your 12th graders like they're 9th graders. The last realization I had is that you've really got to make it all personal. Sure, there's an element of duh to that statement, and I agree. However, this year was all about learning what that really means. Writing feedback works when it's personal. Assignments and activities work when they're personal. And things overall just have a tendency to fall into place with the students that you have that authentic and personal relationship with. Moving on.